We have breaking news in the NHL. The Utah franchise is now officially complete. The ink is dry and they've announced their jerseys and logo for their inaugural season. We'll take a look and discuss coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some breaking news from the NHL. The new Utah franchise, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, have a big announcement here. They've got their jerseys, logo, color scheme released here for their inaugural season coming up this fall. Now, of course, keep in mind, these are not going to be permanent. The color scheme will be sticking with the team. However, this is only for year one, since they had to basically buy and relocate this team in somewhat record time. They didn't have time to do the rebrand, so that's in place. There's actually a vote going on right now to determine the team name. There's probably going to be another round. We're on to round 2 right now. We have the 6 finalists, and then we're voting on that. It goes till June 20th. I will put a link to the vote in case you haven't already done so. You can vote for your thoughts on that. Right now, the 6 finalist names include Utah HC, of course, which is what they're going to be called in year one, the Utah Hockey Club, the Utah Outlaws, the Utah Venom, the Utah Mammoth, the Utah Blizzard, and the Utah Yetis. I voted for Yeti myself. I like the Yeti concept. But we'll see what everybody thinks and kind of go from there. So ultimately, here's the jerseys. I'll show you on the screen, both the home and away. So they're pretty basic, of course, but really this is what we were expecting. I've seen already in the first few minutes they were available online. Some complaints on how bland and basically really what were you expecting? This is, like I said, a team that relocated in somewhat record time. They were pretty, upfront with us from the beginning that it was going to be just a name, Utah on the jersey. We didn't know if it was going to be diagonal or straight across or what have you. But here we are. But the color schemes are pretty basic too. So you see the white and the black, obviously for home and away. But then you see like the light blue is going to play a prominent role moving forward. But to kind of go through the color palette here and what they've put out in their press release, essentially it says like the rock black is to represent the darkness of night in the mountains in the famous Salt Flats, and the mountain blue reps Utah's rich history in winter sports and their clear blue skies, which they get, I think it's 230 days of the year. So the blue is going to be, it's a really nice blue. Kind of reminds me of the blue colors. The color scheme reminds me a little bit of Hockey Night in Canada. If you look at the back, those light blue Hockey Night in Canada jackets, for those of you that have been following the show for many years, that the commentators used to wear, like it kind of reminds me of that. So I do like that for the color scheme going forward. Obviously, the logo and the jerseys are very basic. You can call them bland if you want. I don't think anybody would be offended by that. But at the same time, here we are. So obviously, needed some time for things to officially, close, you could say, like some of these big transactions. When we hear things are official, like they are official. And, obviously at this point, they're saying the ink is dry, the sale is closed, and we're ready to move on. Now, there's also, obviously there's going to be more news coming on this team as we get further into the offseason, we get further into the voting process. We won't have other jerseys this year, but we will likely know what the team name is going to be. I would suspect, I'm not sure when they're going to do the reveal, but sometime later this year would be my guess. But to me, the color scheme with the black or the light blue, it kind of works with a lot of these names that have already been made finalists. So, some of the mock-ups we've seen, a lot of them have incorporated the light blue. So we will see where this goes, but at the end of the day, we now have a jersey. There's some merch that are going to be available, obviously. They'll be able to make those available here soon. And this is what we have. So let me know your thoughts. I want to know what everybody thinks down in the comments. Like I said, and I just really don't want to see people saying, oh, they're so boring, they're so bland, because we were expecting this. The main thing we know is kind of the color scheme they're going with. And really, like I said, considering the timelines they're dealing with, to have a fairly basic dark and light jersey for home and away, not surprising. Now, of course, like I said, these people that work for the Utah franchise are formerly Arizona Coyotes, the players as well. And at the end of the day, there is some Coyotes news coming today. I will have another video out in a few hours later tonight, recapping all the news and rumors around the league for the day. But there's some news that Alex Muriel, when he goes to bid for the land later this month, there's apparently talk that there's up to 4 bidders and a lot of obstacles for him to overcome. And it sounds like the franchise is also, a lot of their employees got word that there was a meeting today. It's kind of, how apropos that they're having a meeting today, the same day when big news coming out of Utah regarding, their hockey ops, people that have moved to Utah, that there's massive layoffs coming within the Coyotes. So there was a lot of employees that were uncertain. Like I said, there was a meeting called today. A lot of them were told, I don't have exact numbers here. I know the preliminary info is just coming from, I know it's from Craig Morgan, who had posted this on his X account, saying that there's significant layoffs. Those who are laid off are going to be laid off effective next month or at the end of the month. And then they are going to have, I believe they're getting a severance pay, which is equivalent to 1 paycheck, I believe. And they're going to have health care for July, if I'm not mistaken. I think is how it's working, but don't quote me on that. That's just what I believe was coming, but that's all waiting to be confirmed. But yeah, big layoffs, we do know, coming today from the Coyotes organization. So I'll have a little bit more details on that as soon as we can. So let me know your thoughts on the Utah color scheme, on the Utah names. Of course, don't forget to get out and vote. Some of these are pretty cool names, I think. Like I said, Mammoth, Blizzard, Yeti, Outlaws, they're all pretty good names that could have some good marketing behind it, some good logos, some good concepts here. So we'll see how everything works out and how it goes. So make sure you vote. Let me know your thoughts on the jerseys, the logo for now, and we'll be back a little bit later in the next video. So of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. This is one of the best places to get all your NHL news and rumors for all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.